So we're going to have a little fun here, trying to figure out why my old Dodge won't start. I know, because it's a Dodge, the Mopar, shit about a Ford, shit about a Chevy. I've had them all. They all fucking do this. With that out of the way, yesterday I went to go to work in this thing. Turned the key on, as you do. Made sure it was in neutral, as you do. Gave the gas 2 pats and held it down just a hair, as you do. Gave it just a little choke. And a little less choke. And I got a little bit of a hit there, and that was it. Which leads me to think it's a spark issue again. Now, if you're wondering why I have this configuration down here, it's because I took the last column apart, and these have a collapsible column inside of them. So when you get into a wreck, it doesn't, just final destination your face. It completely came apart in there in a way that I didn't feel comfortable reassembling. In a way that I thought it could have done when going down the road. So I gave up on that column. And I know there's a little horseshoe clip in there, whatever you want to call it, you're supposed to take loose. I was working on getting that loose, and the whole column just... Anyway, I went to the junkyard. They had like an 85 with a manual column. Luckily, because these are kind of rare in these later Dodges. Unless you get up in the 90s where they have everything on the column, but those are wrong. Cummins manual things. And those are always pulled, because if you get a Cummins Dodge in a junkyard, that thing's getting picked over. That corpse is not going to last long enough to rot. Anyway, I can smell right now that I've got gas. And, ignition switch. I just woke up. I didn't want to go in there and try to replace that, because you got to remove the turn signal switch to do that. That's $30 if you break it. The switch, no wait. That's $50 if you break it, as far as I can find, and that's like $20 to $30. The electrical part of the switch. And I decided, yeah, you know what? I don't really want to spend $50 in the steering column. So I went on Amazonia and got that panel for $14.99. The choke thing was extra. I put that in. I made this little plate out of a computer side panel. Just half-ass hacked it up, and it was already cracked down there. This whole dash is just like, I don't know, a disaster scene. This panel is an original. My dad did that to put gauges in. I don't know why. He didn't need to, but he did. The pocket was already gone. They had something mounted up in there, I think a CB on his old truck. I don't know what was in here on this one. It's a mystery. Yeah, it's a mystery. Ashtray's gone. And the wiring's plugged in for my blower fan, because that circuit don't work anywhere else but if I hook it up right. But that's a whole nother issue. If you can't tell, I'm trying to avoid doing as much wiring as possible by just running a new wire out to the starter solenoid. I still need a key on to start it, but yeah, I already got that. So we're gonna get this little bugger hooked up, and yeah, fun. I gotta shut the camera off while I do that. I can't do it one-handed. I am limited on time, so yeah, that don't mind that. That's just, don't worry about it. So the first thing I do is check spark with one of these, because Robbie got me this one for Christmas, birthday, I can't remember which. But I had one of these that was Sears brand, but the wire fell apart, and the only thing it was really doing was shooting spark everywhere. Anyway, what I was saying was I like to check spark first, because if you check spark second, you got fuel everywhere. Yeah, that's how you burn down your car. Or I'm gonna unplug one of those plug wires and try to dangle this thing up where over here where I can see it and drop it, because I wish it was the clip-on kind like I used to have. The other one was had a clip on it. Now you can take and stick these on your spark plugs. I don't do that. What I do instead, sorry, neighbors causing noise, is we'll stick it to something like a bolt here, if it'll reach, because I know that's going to be grounded, and then I can dangle that up there and peek through that windshield and see, hey, do I have spark? And if that don't work, I'll just jump the starter relay with the key on. I just replaced the box a little while ago in the coil too. And I don't really want to do that, so yeah. Anyway, let me hook this up real quick, then I'll film while I do this, and we'll see if we find anything. Or nothing. Okay, you're not really going to be able to see it, but down there it is. But if I put it up here, it's going to be in my face, and I'm going to be looking through a camera, and I don't want to do that. So, we have spark coming out of the coil. Okay, you can't see that. Yeah, we got plenty of spark coming out of the coil. Okay, turn that off. Yep. And we definitely got gas. I can smell the gas. Holy shit. So, coil is sparky spark. Plug that back in if I can. Let's okay, come on now. I think it's just this fucking coil wire, because that don't fit for shit. Yeah, what the hell? It didn't come off there that easy. Let's sit it on there and see if anything happens. I'll know here in a second. I think I might have a bad coil wire or cap or something. Ain't sure. What you really don't want to do with these metal fuel filters, and you don't want to bypass this because that's a fuel bypass right there, so the fuel doesn't deadhead in the carburetor. They have them set up that way so it recirculates through that hose back to the tank. Those Dodge filters are really good to put on other things. If you're having fuel, like vapor lock issues, your fuel boiling. Damn, I'm turning to Porky Pig here. Okay, which plug wire am I going for? And I'm looking for one long enough to reach over here. I reckon any of them will do, but I don't know. Okay, I'm too short for that one. Yeah, it's too short, so we'll have to find somewhere else to put this sparky spark. Oh, maybe this one. Still too short though. Shit. Okay, let's plug. I can't see what I'm doing. Plug. Click. Are any of these gonna be long enough? I don't think so. Maybe number one. No. Just the coil wire. Anyway, I run the coil wire down below that so it does arc. It's not arcing the fuel filter. I've seen it happen. And I'm alive to tell about it, so I guess nothing really bad happened, but Mustang things. Mustang things. Okay, there, sorry. That, and holy shit, that's sticky with oil. Where am I going to put this? Fellas are back doing work on my duplex, so you're going to hear some sawing. I'm not going to be able to see that. It's not going to work. So, no way it's going to reach over here. Oh no, that'll reach. Why wouldn't I reach before? Weird. Weird. And I'm already filthy. Truck had a valve cover oil leak, but I fixed that. How long it stays fixed is anybody's guess. If you think I replaced the plug wires, you are out of your damn mind. So, I'm just gonna wipe my hands over here a little. So I don't fix an oil leak to clean an engine. I fix an oil leak because Hell, I don't really care about working on a greasy damn engine. What I care about is $4 or $5 or $6 a damn quart wherever you got to get it. Okay, so let us see, shall we? I guess you can see that. God damn it. Fucking radio keeps turning on. I don't want a copyright strike. We gotta have spark. Did you see that? But I don't see no spark. What the hell is going on? Smoking like John Candy's car. I know the intake gasket leaks a little, but is it really pulling that much exhaust into the damn intake? That's what it looks like. Smoky. Yeah, I think we got bad plug wires. Yeah, I ain't seeing shit. I ain't seeing shit. Let's see. Yep. Yep. I ain't seeing a damn thing in there. I could see it clear as day before. Do I have some random wire chilling around here or something? Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we're going to take this little shibby bread tie and just sit you there, get my fingernails, and pull the shitty coating off, and you're not going to be able to see. Oh god, I got the hiccups now. You're not going to be able to see spark, but you should be able to see what I'm doing. This isn't normally a red wire down here, but that's the color I ran because red is positive, and I didn't have no orange or whatever it was before. So, see if we got spark. Ah, that's getting hot. No, we don't have spark out the wires, which is what I was thinking, because this engine is kind of tired and it's got an exhaust leak here in the manifold exhaust gasket, but there's no zappy zap over here. Which means it's probably shitty plug wires because the Kolon digital box is new. So we are going to next pop the distributor cap and see how that looks. I don't remember how they come off in the Dodge, but I think it involves a flathead screwdriver. I think it involves hating the seat. I'm going to cut one of these fucking latches off because this rigmarole is not kosher. It's got these dual damn latches that like to bind up and hang. There. I think that one's going to get zipped because I only need the one. I don't like having to make laps around my truck every time. I just want to get to my damn tools. So, do I have a flathead in here? A long one at least? Maybe? Of course not. Of course not. Okay. Well, I spared you the gory details of that snot rocket. You're welcome. Spoiler alert, it was half a nosebleed. Is my fucking car unlocked? Of course I fucking locked this piece of shit. Why wouldn't I lock the piece of shit? I wish somebody would steal the fucking thing. Then I'd have them on camera and make a bunch of YouTube videos about it. Okay. Keys. Okay, it's starting to rain a little, so I guess we're going to be playing with spark in the rain. It's been raining all damn week, if you can't tell by the way it is. This car has always smelled a little weird. Not a bad kind of weird, just a weird kind of weird. And all the coffee I like to drink going to work has compounded that odd aroma. Success. Now, if memory serves, you can really see where the wife of the original owner of this truck had to hang on for dear life there. Rubbed the paint right off. He must have liked to drive like old Dale. God damn it. I thought this was a screw-type cap. Yeah, it's not. Oh, it's not even latched. What the shit? Okay. Looks just fine. I think that rotor might be a little worn. It's a little dirty, but it ain't bad. I can clean that up. Is that it? Just dirt? Nah. That can't be it. Oh, wait. Hiding under my thumb is the problem. How the hell does that happen? Okay, let me take another look at this cap. Look at that damn button. Oh no, it's definitely a problem. I did not even look at that before. I was looking at the pegs. Okay, so I'm gonna go spend too much fucking money on cap, rotor plugs, and wires. Got it hooked up, 142365 on this slant 6. That's the firing order. The number 5 wire is a little bit longer than the number 3 here. 3 and 5. So I swapped those because this was tugged too tight. It's been like that for a long time, so it's probably not hurting anything. And I don't know if these have problems with arc and spark between wires like Fords and whatnot, but there's really no way to organize these with the length they are, so they must not. Because I know some Fords have that issue where, like, the number 1 spark will or the coil wire will jump spark to different wires if you don't use heavy enough wires. Really, it's that way in any ignition system, especially when they get clustered if you use too thin of wires. Anyway, I guess now that I'm greasy and nasty, and I really don't know why. Okay, yeah, these were kind of corroded a little, but really didn't have a reason to replace this. I was just really confused at how that would happen. So let's just see if she starts. I don't like just replacing the rotor. If a rotor hits the cap, get rid of the cap. Then you eliminate. God, I'm going full Porky Pig today. Eliminate the chance of the same thing happening. Doesn't mean the same thing won't happen to a different cap and rotor, but you can return those. And they can't say, well, it must have been your cap, so we're not going to refund your $5. Buh. Did you fuck off, radio? Okay, no gas, because I know she's already got it. Runs like new. Okay. Now that it runs, I'm going to take the cap back off and see if the rotor is fouling on the cap. Because clearly it can happen somehow. I don't know. Pardon the grease, I have dirty hands and I don't care if it gets in there. Looks like we wore in properly right there, that little button. That's normal. These Mopar rotors have a little notch in them, a lot of them do. And it's raining. Is that reluctor wheel floating? Oh. Yeah, I think our distributor's a little... Okay. That explains a lot. Oh, if it happens again, I'll go try to find a junkyard distributor that ain't all hashed up. At least these Mopar distributors, they can only go in 2 ways. So as long as you get that button pointing the right way, that should be fine. You ain't got to worry about top dead center. Now the question is if I can get this damn cap back on with one hand. I don't think I can because this back tab's really stiff to get to. Oh wait, it's on there. Holy shit. Okay, can I get my hand down in here and actually show what the hell I'm doing? I don't think I can. But you never know. Wait. There. Why won't you latch? Latch, damn you. Curses. What the hell? Okay, the button is fully seated. Okay, let's try this again. Click. That. Click. Okay, now why won't it latch? Oh, there it goes. Okay. I can do that one-handed if I use both my hands. Cool. Yeah. So I think what happened there is through some fuckery, the little bit of wibble wobble in the distributor allowed the rotor to come up just enough to contact the contact, and it wasn't a good kind of contact either. So when that rotor jumped up and said hello, it did that, I think. I don't know. I am not buying a new distributor for a motor that is going away when I find a bell housing. Because this motor is worn the hell out. If you know anything about cars, the play in that distributor should tell you how many miles this engine has on it. The answer is a lot. But as you saw, once it's got spark and everything's fine, it runs great. These slant sixes will run until they simply don't. So with that said, I'm going to go get washed up, chill for a while, then go get some lunch in this thing, and hope that it doesn't break down on me. Because that would suck. Oh, my spark plug tester. Yeah. Yeah, you can leave these things hanging all kinds of places. I found one under a car once, just chilling on the frame rail. Kind of just dangling there. Don't know how long it's been there. Don't know what I did with it either. So anyway, let's make sure she still runs. So, first things first. Let's just sit that there where I'm going to forget it. Where's that daggone receipt? Receipt in the box. So if that happens again, I can at least return it and say stupid. I don't know why it's doing that. I have no idea. No, none at all. If I was going to test for fuel, I would use an empty water bottle. I always have one of those in my truck because, yeah. But that prevents from making a mess. But I didn't need to test for fuel because I could smell it. Yeah. That's how it used to start. I know it needs an intake manifold gasket, but now I'm debating if I'm going to bother trying to do it. I'm trying to think what it could have caused that distributor to kick up out of there. The only thing I can think... Yeah, I can't think of anything that would cause it. Because there's no way anything at the bottom end of this engine could be that loose to kick it out and this engine not be knocking. Because it runs off a gear on the cam, I think, on these. I guess. I don't really know where the cam is in the Slant 6. I've never really taken one apart. I guess it's in the side-ish of the block. Inline things, I don't know. I work on V8s, not inline engines. And I'm not a mechanic, so anyway. I don't know, maybe I just went over the train tracks too hard and it just yeeted the damn rotor into the cap. I'll have to be mindful not to Dukes of Hazzard the train tracks in the future. Which means I'm going to do it again. Fuck. Damn, she's running good. I need to get a pipe connected. It's Bluetooth right now because the muffler was full of mouse house and it wouldn't come out of there, and yeah. Exhaust leak, it's right here. Yeah, right there. Tick, 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 tick. Yeah, I guess I might have to replace the gasket, but I'm scared I'm gonna break the studs. Well, I guess that about does it for this video. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. I don't know.